What's going on, fellow money lovers? I didn't have a bunch of loose paper currency on me, so I ran by the ATM. I got $400 or $500 out. Figure we could do a little $20 bill search and see if we find anything worth more than face value, so $20. Let's just jump into it. Series 2017, lots of star notes and things like that to look for. There was quite a bit of those printed, as well as known shifts in print, so look for that. Nothing the serial number, nothing jumping out on the front. Back of the bill. I like to keep an eye out around intricate detail points, kind of heavy ink points, and design points for ink issues. 2017A, I found a bunch of star notes in this series as well. This one's really close to a broken ladder. Missing the 2 and the 7, so we're a couple digits off. But look for broken ladder notes where the serial number is, albeit not in order, one of each digit. Mainly, though, with ladder notes, people like it to be in ascending or descending order to really command value. So, you're talking 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in order one way or the other. Close to a date note, sort of, 1925 on the end there. Found a cool little repeater note a couple bill searches ago. That one was cool. Nothing crazy. A little damage. For a second I was like, oh, we got a major lack of ink error. Not so much. Mainly you'll see that around the serial number. If you're ever missing, if you're ever missing portions of numbers out of the serial number, you're missing, of course, portions of letters. But serial numbers and seals are laid down during a different portion of the printing process for U.S. currency. So if you're ever missing portions of those, of course, that lack of ink error can command really, really good value. Also, when you see kind of the excess of ink of the serial number, unless it's coming all the way through the reverse of the note from the front, those aren't even really worth a crazy amount, but I do see them sell. But you have to be able to read the whole thing, albeit backwards, through the note to really command any value. I get asked about that. 2013. Go a little quicker so I'm not boring you guys. Nothing there. You can see a lot of the fibrous materials of the currency, though. It's added into it during the printing process when they make the paper that's cotton and linen. And it's a good way of adding durability to the bills, so they can withstand thousands of folds and uses before falling apart. I just find that to be pretty cool. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Missing the 9. I would have held on to it if we would have had the right digits there. Nothing going on. Keep an eye out around the pillars, too, on the back of the $20 note. Somebody wrote there. The pillars, around the windows, mainly the bushes. So, I guess I'm almost describing the entire picture. But the really fine line points is what I'm getting at. I've had a lot of people send me emails, pictures, stuff like that of stuff they've found with some real ink issues around those points. Yeah, nothing jumping out there. Let me know what you're coming across in your bill searches. I had quite a few people with some fancy serial numbers that have sent me pictures of them. That's awesome. One person sent me a graded note they had. Of course, they didn't find it in circulation, but something they bought from an estate sale, an old educational note. Those can be worth tons of money. Nice repetition. 8 4s on the end. Would have been nice to have 1 5 1 5 8 4 8 4. That would have been a double repeater. I would have loved that. Guess a quad repeater, maybe? Yeah. Double, quad? Anyway, you get what I'm saying. It would have been a great repeater note. I would have held on to that. It looks like somebody threw up a bunch of pen on this one. And the one below it. Nothing jumping out. So nothing nuts so far. This one's been wet at some point. It's losing its durability. 2017A. The majority of what we've seen is 2013, 17, and 17A. I guess that's kind of the standard minus 2021 notes kind of creeping in there. Coin-wise, people ask me about the lack of penny. I'll get to a more in-depth video, I guess, about that. But even with pennies being out of production, which is not the first time that they've slowed production on a coin or ceased it temporarily, even if it never comes back, the amount of pennies in circulation will undoubtedly keep things rocking for quite some time. And digital currency, although used, cryptocurrency and more, in specific, although it's used, it's going to be quite some time, if any time, that becomes like the norm of currency. I mean, physical currency has been around a long time, the barter system before that, and still today. And so, we'll kind of see. Nothing crazy. Hopefully you guys have had better luck than me. I'm trying to go a little quicker since it was a bunch of bills to go through. Really nicely printed $20 note. Keep an eye out as well around color changing points. So the 20 here, the shield and the eagle here, forming a portion of the crest. If there's issues when they mix the ink, you can get a contaminated inkwell error, which is where it comes down typically almost like a darker green, and in this case, like a really, really dark, almost burgundy bronze color. Good repetition. I would have loved to have the 0 and 8 out of there and just had a binary repeater with 4s and 1s, but hey. Nothing there. 2013 series. Again, sometimes I see these marks with Sharpies and stuff where they get at banks and stores and just run, I guess, a pen down the whole side. But I wouldn't do it that way, but if that's how they do it, cool. 431, 143, kind of neat. Little bit of a funky extra ink going on. It's so small, though, I'm not going to hold on to it, but a thing to keep an eye out for, a minor little ink smear here in the last few notes. If it was heavier, and majorly if it was obscuring a portion of any other part of the note, so if it was obscuring the serial number or anything like that, I would have definitely held on to it. But that might just be kind of damage. Nothing popping out. Last but not least, 20 bucks. 2017A. Of course, keep an eye out for the big stuff, shifts in print, gutter folds, and craziness like that. Nothing on the front, reverse of the note. Got ourselves a free little kind of booger up here. That's nice. So we'll take that away as our free gift for this bill search. Overall, nothing to call home about or hold on to, but they can't all be winners. So hopefully you had better luck than I did in your bill searches. I will go to the ATM and put this stuff in it. Get some more money later from the bank, and hopefully some pocket money. That's where the real finds happen. And I'll follow up with you. Let me know in the comments what you've come across lately in your coin, banknote, and collectible searches. Hopefully you've had better luck than me, but I still got 500 bucks here, so could be worse, right? I'll see you guys in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.